6'7"?
6'7"?
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. In studio, basketball nerd guru.
Yeah.
Brendan Whitted. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. My dad was making fun of me because I was watching the Pistons Nuggets game at 6 o'clock in the morning today. He was like, you know that game already went off.
You should have brought your dad in. He keeps me company back here.
You know what? Next time, I'm 100% bringing him
Yes.
because like he talks about you guys all the time. So you know what? Say so much less. Say so much less.
All right. I want to dig into the Hornets here.
Yeah.
So I don't pay close attention to the standings. I went on with Mac and Bone yesterday morning in Charlotte, and we were talking. They asked me about it, and I know this. I know that their starting five, LaMelo Ball, has been awesome, and he's been largely healthy this year. So is he changing my opinion of LaMelo Ball? Yes.
I want to forward every time there's a good game.
Absolutely.
I want to forward it to you.
But the game changer for them is finding Con Knipple at number 4 in the draft.
Yeah.
Who is like LaMelo staying healthy is huge, and he is a great player. But that guy, he is one of those who makes everybody better.
And Brandon Miller. Please don't sleep. Brandon Miller leads
them in scoring.
Yeah, he's been sensational for them.
Right.
Like, that's the great thing. LaMelo no longer has to be the top scorer and top playmaker. Now he can just distribute, which is what he does. He's top 5 in the league for me in terms of passing, just straight up passing ability, the creativity, the joy with which he plays the game. It is obvious. Every time he's smiling, he's laughing. There was they just had a game. They had that 3 o'clock weird game versus the Pelicans because the weather. They were trying to get people in and out.
Okay, yeah.
And so Charles Lee is, for whatever reason, is going for a ball that's going out of bounds. LaMelo's going. They smack heads. I mean, LaMelo's got a black eye right now.
Right.
He's walking around with that. And then LaMelo, wins player of the game or whatever it was in the locker room afterwards. And then Coach Lee comes out with a hard hat.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
the construction hat. That was great.
There's a joy that's permeating through that team right now. Like, yes, it is the 7-game win streak, but it's also the fact that they seem to have just found a really good chemistry. You can argue which comes first, the wins or the chemistry, but it's there.
Yeah.
And it's obvious, and I'm as a Hornets fan, I am almost like
Are you believing?
I'm believing. Like, it's Neo in the Matrix. I'm beginning to believe that this is like a real thing.
So I said to the guys in Charlotte, I said, they asked me, do I think they can make the playoffs or the play-in? I'm like, well, why can't they shoot higher? Now, it's not like there's tons of time left in the season, but they're only about 5 or 6 games out of 6 in the East. So, do they have to continue at the rate, which is now they've won 12 out of 17? Yeah, they probably have to continue at a similar rate. You don't have to win 16 in a row, but you've got to win probably 2 out of every 3 for a while to put yourself in that position. But if they stay healthy, I mean, I think Con Knipple, the analogy I have made is that he's Chris Mullin.
Ooh. So,
I mean, I don't know how you feel about that.
I think he's a little bit. I don't know if I had Mullen as this sort of playmaker. Like,
right,
Knipple was a solid secondary playmaker for them. Now I might be just misremembering Chris Mullin. I thought of him more as just a scorer shooter.
He was. That's exactly what he was.
But like Knipple, he's shooting so efficiently. Just generally speaking, for a rookie, he's well on his pace to break the rookie 3-point record. Like, it's
going to shatter it.
And I mentioned not being able to believe whether or not this was a good team. The Pelicans game, the same one LaMelo and Coach Lee went head up. They had every reason in the world to have a bad game. They had 17 turnovers in that game.
Right.
They shot 12 of 50 from 3-point land. And
sounds very Duke-like.
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll get to that later.
And Knipple and Brandon Miller combined to shoot 11 of 34 from the field.
Right.
So that wasn't one of those, like, this was the team with the best net rating, best offensive rating in January. You mentioned how fantastic they are when they had that starting 5 out there. They weren't scoring like that. Mm-hmm. They did it with defense, and they found a way to win that game late. That's what good teams do.
Right.
And that's the thing that I'm still trying to take it in, man. Longest win streak since 2016, man. I am really enjoying it. Whatever happens with the rest of the season, this is the most hopeful I've been in a really long time.
All right. Now, obviously, you're team Charles Lee, and I know there were people who were down on him, but obviously, it's hard to judge a head coach when so many of your most important pieces are out.
Right.
And Ball and Miller were both out for huge chunks of time.
Yep.
Knippel again has come in. I love the fact that he is this good. And when they matched up, when he and Cooper Flagg matched up, and they put up numbers in that game, but Knippel's team won the game.
Yeah.
Cooper went for 49. Kahn only went for 34, but they won exactly.
Yeah.
But they won the game.
Yeah.
He is one of those types of players.
Yeah.
He can do whatever you want. In some ways, who's the broken guy that they signed as a free agent? Who played at Butler? I always forget names because then I'm an old person.
You're not talking about Collins. No, I'm give me a position.
Remember, he used to play as
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Oh yeah.
He was always broken.
Yes.
Right. I think he's a better version of what Gordon Hayward wanted to be. Right.
I think, especially by the time we got him. Right. The injuries had
good.
Yeah, he had taken away a lot of stuff. But listen to what we're talking about though. LaMelo Ball, draft pick. Brandon Miller, draft pick. Kahn Knippel, draft pick. Miles Bridges, draft pick.
Right.
Diabate, who, if you want to tie anybody to this coach more, he was a two-way player for them last year. Ended up starting more games than anybody else on the roster last year. And now he's a starter. He's a fan favorite. His offensive rebounding, his energy, it's man, I'm telling you, they've put together a nice squad, and they've done so organizationally.
All right, now what do they need? Are they depth away from being one of those teams that could sustain? I mean, they might not be able to sustain a LaMelo Ball setback or a Brandon Miller setback because those are two enormous pieces. But what do they need to help them sustain this level of play?
They need some front court help. You knocked it around the head. You talked about how good their starters are. Depth-wise, they're lacking, right? Colin Sexton, he's a little bit up and down. Kalkbrenner isn't a bad rookie. He leads all rookies in dunks and blocks, but he's just not ready for, if we're talking about really playing big-time, heavy usage playoff minutes, he's not there. Trey Mann hasn't been as good as they want to. And then Salon, their first-round pick from a couple years, it just hasn't worked out. He's still on. He's with the Greensboro Swarm right now. They need a little a punch off of that bench so that Coach Lee has talked about having one of those three, at least one of those three in the game at all time. Miller, Knippel, or Ball in the game at some point. But it'd be nice to be able to have a secondary guy who you really felt comfortable. Lonzo Ball is a guy that his name has been bandied about for quite some time in connection. Yeah, I mean, I don't
look if Lonzo could have stayed healthy, Lonzo was going to be a really good player. Was a really good player. Yeah. Brendan Woodard is in studio with us. All right, let me. They're obviously at least the play-in team. I think they're going to do that. Am I crazy that they could
no
rise above that?
You're not crazy at all.
Okay.
I think some of that though, as you mentioned, it has to do with what are they able to do right at the deadline. Getting Grant Williams back helps. That helps the depth. That helps settle things. He's been good from three lately since he's been back from injury. But they still do need a little bit more scoring punch, a little bit more off the bench. But I think that is the limiting factor here. Obviously injuries, but that is the limiting factor. Can they get a little bit more depth so they're not playing six guys to their tongues come out their head.
James Harden traded from the Clippers to the Cavaliers. Darius Garland and a second-round pick go back. That's Darius Garland's a dynamite player.
Yes.
James Harden, obviously, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
How many times has this Hall of Famer been traded?
Yeah, it's a lot of trades, man.
The Clippers are good. The Clippers traded a future Hall of Famer. When the Clippers are good, Process that for me.
I was.
Does that say something about Harden?
It was. I think it says something about where and Harden has come out a little bit more since I think Ramona Shelburne had been reporting on this. She talked to him and he was like, basically, it sounded a lot more mutual than, hey, I want to trade, which is how it was presented. Because I went to bed Monday night. Everything was fine. They were playing really well. I think they won 10 of their last 12 or something like that. And I wake up and it's like Harden demands trade. He refuted that for whatever it's worth, and you cannot believe him if you want to. For whatever it's worth, it was, hey, I knew I was going to be standing in the way of what they wanted to do in the future, which kind of coalesces with them going to go get Garland, right? Garland's a lot younger. Yeah. And if they're trying to, have a youth movement, which seems weird with Kawhi on your team, but okay, whatever. But it's the Clippers, so it literally anything is possible. And so. Okay, it was weird for me only because I legitimately thought because he's an LA kid, I thought that would be it. At least for the I'm going to try to leave early sort of thing, because he's still in contract for the rest of this year and another year after that. I thought that he really was home for a little bit because he's from there. And I don't know, maybe it was a conversation about the extension that he wants whenever he's eligible to be able to want to pull a trigger, and they're maybe him and Han, and that was just like a, hey, you know what? This isn't going – I don't know if you've ever been on a date before and it's going pretty well, and then at some point, you come to an impasse, and it's like, nah, I'm not willing to compromise on that. I'm not willing to compromise on that. You know what? We're mature enough to be able to – let's go ahead and stop this now before we get into the dessert, right? You in the appetizer right now, and you like, all right, cool, we vibing the potato skins, it's potato skinning, and then at some point, it's like, ooh, somewhere during that entree, it's like, no, this is a deal breaker. I feel like they came to that conclusion. You know what I also wonder
about?
There
will be no tiramisu.
No tiramisu to go. We're going to wrap this up and get it to go. Thank you so much. I've had that conversation too.
It's wild about – I mean, I have never – I hate his game.
Yes, you do.
Right? Hate his game. And I also don't think that Harden, for whatever reason, has been part of teams that really achieved. He's a great player. But I've just never bought into James Harden.
Look, he's had some really bad playoff games. There's no getting around that. He's had some really bad playoff games. I will say the Game 7, the most recent Game 7 when he was with the Sixers, I blamed Embiid. Embiid was terrible that game.
Sure.
He was and Harden had already won them 2 games in that series. Yeah. He's the number 2 guy. I thought that was good enough. But there have been other times when he was just dreadful.
Right.
But also have to remember he was going up against the Warriors. Right? Okay. There was a long time when he's in the West. And it wasn't no getting past the Warriors. It was Warriors Braun for a really, really long time. There's a lot of cats who got Hall of Fame resumes walking around without chips.
Right.
You understand? And he was on the team that got the closest to beating that Kevin Durant team in the playoffs. They forced the Game 7. Now again, he was not good in that Game 7. But that's the closest anybody came to beating that squad. He's run up against some really great players. Now I wonder how he's going to be remembered. To me, I remember him as one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. He's still 14 points a game in the isolation plays. That's the most in the league right now to this day. And this is the most since he did it in 2020.
Right.
But to your point, that's not aesthetically pleasing for a lot of people. Yeah, I think that combines in with it too. Right. I think I think he's going to be one of the more divisive guys after he's retired. How people look and feel about him.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, the stats alone put him in the Hall of Fame.
It's going to be less about whether or not he's a Hall of Famer and more about where does he rank in terms of Hall of Famers, right? Like, what do you do with that? Like, he's one of the best scorers we've ever seen, but he came up small in these situations. He seemed like he was always constantly bouncing around. I think the latter part of that is going to be less of an issue because by the time we're doing legacy stuff, Kevin Durant's played for a lot of teams. LeBron's played for a lot of teams. Like, if those guys can play for several teams, everybody's going to move around a lot. Like, we've kind of seen the last of we get drafted. Once Luka got traded, I was like, okay, this might be the last time we see a guy get drafted and play for one franchise.
Brendan Whitted in studio with us. All right, so Luka, you bring up Luka. He was traded for Anthony Davis, who
That's a smooth transition, bro.
Thank you very much.
I just saw
right there,
was
guys. Traded to the Washington Wizards.
Yep.
And I remember listening to Wizards fans last year going how excited they were about their young core. It's an up-and-coming team. So they have just traded for Davis and Russell.
I think D'Angelo Russell was a part of that.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I think he's also a part of it.
So are they do they suck now? Because I don't understand why you would bring in 2 players who, for me, D'Angelo Russell isn't a player I'm bringing in if I want to win. And I'm not sure Anthony Davis is going to play any more than 30 games in a season the rest of his career. I don't understand why the Wizards what'd they give up?
There were 3 firsts, Middleton, and then there's a couple other guys. This came through like right as I was walking in the radio, walking in the station. But I think it was Middleton, 3 firsts, and there was some more salary in there. None of their young core guys that they're really concerned.
Why are they bailing out the Mavericks?
I think because they feel that while they are closer now with the young core, they're still a ways away from competing, right? And I think that they're thinking, hey, Trae Young and Davis, you put them around these young guys, suddenly you have a roster that's interesting and that can win some games and that can maybe just make the playoffs next year instead of the play-in. I don't know about Russell's contract. I don't know how much he's going to be playing.
They're 13-36.
Well, yeah, this is a next year thing. This is a next. Hey, we're going. I doubt
they've already been eliminated next year. At least the Pacers have an excuse.
Think about this though. You traded Luka for Anthony Davis and a first. And now Anthony Davis is gone. Like, you traded your franchise 25-year-old All-NBA MVP candidate, got you to the finals last year for this guy and a first, and now the guy is gone. But, I mean...
but at least they got 3
Yeah,
first
I was about to say,
back.
maybe you can look at, like, they got 4 in total out of that trade.
And they got Washington's first.
Yeah. Also, this probably means
they clearly don't know what they're doing. Those are going to be good picks.
Probably means no Kyrie coming back. They had talked about Kyrie coming back.
So Dallas is shutting it down.
Yeah, and makes sense. I didn't think
so
Kyrie
much for
should
my
try to
wager
rush
that the Mavericks were going to win the West.
Oh man! Hey, look, man! I said Orlando's going to come out the East.
I have Orlando also. I have a ticket on Orlando as well. I don't know anything. I should have listened to my son who said he liked Detroit.
That's a heck of a call for
He's a huge Cade Cunningham fan. All right. Our remaining moments, however many more we've got. Carolina Duke Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Nobody should be alarmed. You are a Tar Heel fan. That's fine. What do you like from a North Carolina perspective about this matchup?
What do I like? I like that we found our point guard. That was
Dixon.
really bothered. Yeah, because they try to shoehorn Evans in a few times, and that is just not his game. He is a scorer.
I said when they got him, I'm not buying that. Dixon looks like
a
much
North
better
Carolina
player.
He's able to push the pace without being reckless, and that's the thing. Duke is number 1 in steals per game in the ACC. You cannot give them easy transition baskets and expect to stay and stand in front of this team. UNC has its own foibles in the half court, but if they can stop turning the ball over, even when they want to push the pace, that's fine. You can't give them these easy runouts that'll get guys in rhythm, and it's just they're too potent offensive. They're top 10 in points per possession in the country. The second part that I am really hoping that I saw a jump from them, they got to stop overhelping. They overhelp on every – if there's a pick and roll, everybody comes sprinting over. I appreciate the team defense, guys. You can't leave those three-point shooters just
– You can for Duke.
Now, you say that, but I've also seen them – I want to say about 80% of the teams they've played at the time that they played them shot their highest three-point percentage of the season after playing UNC. It's not luck. This is a fundamental issue. This is it's so ubiquitous as to be every single game. I'm watching guys drop below the free throw line for a layup, even though they have no ability to contest and are then too far away from their original man to close out. You're not helping anything. Like, I understand the mentality. Help your guy. Don't let anybody get beat. We get scored on as a team. I get that. But everyone can't rotate on the strong side to come running over like crazy people. They have to stop that sort of thing. But I think that they have played better defense recently. Kind of almost gave the game away. Versus.
Yeah, honestly,
that was weird.
I don't even. Whatever. Yeah. They shut it off. They turned the engine off.
They did
with 10 minutes to go.
They did.
And once you turn it off, it's hard to turn it back on. Yeah. And I'll give
even
Syracuse
Duke
credit.
Didn't look great for Spozzicals in the second half.
Terrible.
Either. But their defense, that's the thing. They're offensively very talented, but defensively, that's something that doesn't go anywhere for them. UNC's going to really have some challenges beating that half court defense.
All right. Who guards Cam Boozer?
I think you got to throw multiple guys at him. I think you'll have Caleb. I would prefer if Caleb wasn't until second half somebody. Right. Just to, you want to avoid foul trouble and stuff. Right. I mean, I think we'll see. Stevenson on him. You might see High at some point. They have a glutton of bigs, right? I don't think Vessel's gonna really check him that much. Like, I don't think that's a good look for him. I'm having the hardest time coming up with Boozer's NBA comp. Like, I have no idea because he's really good at a lot of stuff. Yeah. Not great at any one thing. He's not a great athlete. He's an above-average athlete.
He's good enough athlete.
But he's great basketball. I see him, and I'm just probably doing a Duke thing. But I see him, and I look at Shane Battier. Like, I really do look at just making the right play all of the time. I hated Shane Battier as a college player, but I really did. But
most Tar Heel fans would.
Yeah, because he was a killer. Like, he just
was...
made good, and they play through him. It's not just that they throw it in the block to him or anything like that.
No.
He does the pick and pop. But it is literally, they'll put him in almost like a Jokic-like thing, heliocentric, and just let him work from the elbow. You know what I mean?
He's that good offense through him.
He has that kind of understanding of the offense and how the defense is responding. But if you were to tell me that, like, Likely would be the best pro off this team, you wouldn't shock me. Like, if 5 years from now you're like, oh yeah, Likely's the best one, I'm like, yeah, like, because at least I can envision he's a 3-and-D guy, like that. That at least tracks for me. I don't know what Boozer's NBA comps are. George Yang, like, these are like good players that do a lot of things well. Not any great player among them, quality players, but I don't know if I'm underrepresenting what Boozer can do just because he's doing what is necessary.
He can beat you however he thinks you don't want him to beat you.
Yep.
All right, you're taking away the all right, I'll take you down low. I think he is guardable, but he's either going to he will get his shot off and he will get to the free throw line. He can do everything. And he is, while not a great individual defender, he understands team defense.
Rotations.
Duke's defense is really very team-oriented. If Duke shoots the ball well, I think Duke will win the game. I don't think the location of this game ever matters. I don't
really. I was just about to ask you about that.
Duke routinely, both teams win on the other's floor.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing if this game was at Cameron. I don't know if Carolina's going to win there. Go back and look at it. Yeah. Like, it's not 50-50 no matter where it is, but it's not
the
70-30. Yeah. So it doesn't matter where this game is played.
And you know why? Because you can throw the record books out when these guys get together.
I can't wait to hear that. Yes. I can't wait to hear that coming up. I know you're going to enjoy the game.
Absolutely.
So enjoy that. We'll talk again very soon. I had totally forgotten that you're a local man now.
Yeah, man. I'm hanging out. I just like seeing everybody. It's nice. Yep. It's nice seeing Victoria. It's nice seeing Dennis. It's nice seeing you. Like,
bring your dad next time.
100%. Obviously, he's the rock star now. That's great. That's not going to be insufferable to live with.
That's Brendan Whitted. I'll talk to you very soon.
Hope so, man.
All right, we got we'll rewind. We'll talk a little bit about the Canes last night, and we have a Super Bowl coming up. I'm not sure you're aware of that. Next.